I'm Dr. Sri, I'm a board certified primary care sports medicine doctor, and in this video I'm going to show you 6 essential exercises for seniors. And if you incorporate this into your routine for the rest of your life, you can significantly help to preserve the muscle mass that you have and also to build the muscle strength and power that you need to have a good quality of life as you age. Remember, the key isn't just doing these exercises, but rather add challenge as well so that you keep building. Remember, preserving strength and power as you grow older is absolutely crucial to maintain independence and have a good quality of life. So let's get started with the exercises. So the first exercise is basically sit to stand. So basically this is a functional squat exercise. You're going to sit on a chair and you're going to stand up. That's it. But we'll continue to progress with more and more challenge. So first, if you're a complete beginner, if you feel like, I probably want to start at the beginner version level so that I want to see how my body reacts and then slowly see if I could add more challenge, this is the perfect place to start. And sometimes, so you find a big stool like this or a big chair like this, and then I'm going to sit on a chair like this, and then I'm going to get up fast. So when you stand up, you want to generate a quick contraction. So I'm trying to accomplish this standing in a second or so. And then when I sit, I'll take around 2 to 3 seconds to sit and then again stand up 1. So for some people, this even might be harder. So in that case, I'll probably have a chair or something like that to support, or have your partner give you support to help you stand up. And slowly as you get stronger, then you don't need help from your partner or help from a chair. So again, same thing. 1, 2, 3, up 1 second. 1, 2, 3, up 1 second. Okay. So now if that becomes easier, then you're going to decrease the height of the chair. So I'm probably going to start here. So I'm going to go back, do a sit, 1, 2, 3, sit, and then stand. 1, 2, 3, and then stand. Once this becomes easier, then you decrease the height of the chair more, like this, and then you're going to sit all the way. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. Once that becomes easier, you don't even have to sit. You just touch the chair and then come up. Touch the chair slightly like this and then come up. And once that becomes easier, you don't sit on a chair, you just do regular squat. So 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. Okay. So once you feel like this is becoming easier, you can do a squat. You can decrease the height of the chair, where you can do a sit to stand and it becomes easier. The next step is to add more weight to it. You can either add a weighted vest or you can add a dumbbell. So just like this, weighted vest, just like this, where it adds maybe 30 to 40 pounds and so. And you're going to do the same exercise. You're going to do a sit to stand. So sit and then stand. So again, 1, 2, 3, and then up. But again, if you don't have a weighted vest, you can use something like a dumbbell or kettlebell. So here I've got a 35-pound kettlebell. So I'm going to do a similar sit to stand. So 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. So I recommend starting with 10 to 12 repetitions. And then once you start to notice that it's becoming easier, then increase to 15 to 20 repetitions. Once you find that 15 to 20 repetitions is becoming easier, then start to add the challenge. The challenge would be decreasing the height of the chair. And once you've reached this level, or some people might have some knee arthritis where they may not be comfortable going to this level. In that case, you find the comfortable height of the chair and then you start to add more like the weighted vest. And again, focus on starting with 10 to 12 repetitions, go on to 15 to 20 repetitions. And then once you find that 15 to 20 repetitions is becoming much easier, then increase the weight of the vest, or you can add a kettlebell or a dumbbell, holding a dumbbell on your hand as you continue to do this exercise. As you can see, this is truly a lifelong exercise that is so important to continue to preserve the muscle strength and power in your glutes, in your quads, which is very important when you think about the daily tasks that you do. So the next lifelong exercise is the step up. For this, I'm using aerobic stepper. You can use stairs at home or any sort of elevation like this. So the advantage of having a stepper is that you can add more stack of height to make it more challenging. So you can probably start without any with not much of a height, and then after that you can add more height to make it challenging. So for demonstration purpose, I'll probably start somewhere here. But if you're a beginner, start with a minimal height as much as possible. Start to practice this exercise before you add more height stacked for this exercise. So for this, I'm going to put my leg onto the stepper like this, and then this one is not driving any force. The rear leg is just, I'm just kind of like, keeping my rear leg in the back. I'm not pushing off with my rear leg, but this leg is what is going to do the work. So this, I contract the muscles here, and then I try to bring the rear leg to my stepper and then go back. Again, contract and then lift the body up, bring the rear leg back to the stepper, and then go back down. So I would take 1 second to come up, and then 1, 2, 3 to go back. Again, 1 to come up, 1, 2, 3 to go up. So now if you find this is becoming more easier, then you can also add more additional balance challenge as well. So basically I'm going to lift my body up. At the same time, I'm going to bring my leg up towards my chest, not all the way to the chest, somewhere near kind of my umbilicus, like my belly button, and then go back. Again, ready? 1, and then go back. So I would kind of like, do this exercise, making sure that you have some sort of a balance. In case if you lose your balance, you have a wall or like some table for support. So again, 1, and then go back down slow. Again, 1, and then go back down slow. Again, 1, and then go back down slow. So once you feel like this is becoming more easier, then you can add a weighted vest. So now I added a weighted vest. This carries around like 30 to 40 pounds or so. And now I'm going to do the same one. So 1, 1, 1. So again, 1 second up, and then 2 to 3 seconds down. In 1 second up, 2 to 3 seconds down. You can also add a dumbbell as well. So I'll hold a dumbbell in my hand like this, and then in 1, and then 1, 2, 3. Again, ready? 1, 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So as you can see, you can add more challenge to this exercise. Again, a lifelong exercise, but most people don't need this challenge. Again, similar to our previous exercise, you start with 10 to 12 repetitions, increase to 15 to 20 before you can add more challenge to this exercise. I recommend doing 3 sets. So next exercise is push-ups. So we'll be starting with wall push-ups, a great exercise for upper body and that you can continue for lifelong. So the starting position is like, so imagine, so let's say this is, put your hands kind of like right at that junction of the pelvis here. And then this one is the anti-pelvic tilt. So I want to create a slight pelvic tilt like this as you squeeze the glute, and that's my starting position. So as I keep this position on, I'm going to put my hands on the wall, okay, right at the chest level, and I'm going to slowly lower myself to the wall and then push out within in 1 to 2 seconds. So lower 2 to 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, out. 1, 2, 3, out. So I'm not doing this. So this is what I would call this an anterior pelvic tilt. So you're keeping your pelvic tucked in like a slight posterior pelvic tilt like this. Just keep the glutes squeezed and then go down and then come back out. So 1, 2, 3, and then out. Okay. So I would recommend doing this start with 10 to 12 repetitions and then start to become comfortable for 15 to 20 repetitions. And let's say if that becomes easier, then we'll start adding more challenge. So next progression is table push-ups. So now I've kind of graduated from wall push-ups to table push-ups, once able to do 15-20 repetitions for 3 sets without much issues. So now assuming this is the table, okay? So again, I'm using the box to replicate a table, but you can find a table that should be pretty steady, that shouldn't move much, that shouldn't be moving at all. And now assuming that this is the table here, so I'm going to put my hands on the table here. Again, shoulder width apart, same thing. We're going to create a posterior pelvic tilt, squeeze the glutes, and then put my hands on the table. And same thing, we're going to come out slow and then out. So 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. Once that becomes comfortable, so either you find a little bit lower height table that will create a little bit more challenge. So 1, 2, 3, out. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now, if that becomes easier, the next step would be going onto the floor. So now we are graduated to the kneeling push-ups. So for this, same thing, you're creating a little posterior pelvic tilt, squeeze the glutes here, okay? And then, so we're going to do kneeling push-ups. So, ready? 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up, okay? So now, if that becomes easier, the next one, we can do an eccentric push-ups. So basically, where, again, same thing. So again, this is anterior pelvic tilt. So posterior pelvic tilt, squeeze the glutes. So 1, 2, 3, and then kneel down, and then up. Again, 1, 2, 3, kneel down, up, okay? And once that becomes easier, then you go on to your regular push-ups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, great. Again, same thing like we discussed before. You start with the wall push-ups, 15, 20 repetitions, easier. Go to the table push-ups, 15, 20 repetitions, easier. Go to the either lower height table push-ups, or you can do the floor push-ups and then the regular push-ups, okay? And once you're able to do the regular push-ups, then you can build up to like one set, 30 repetitions or 40 repetitions, and do 3 sets. So next exercise is a row exercise. We did a push exercise, now we're going to do a pull exercise. In order to do row exercise, unfortunately, we need some sort of an equipment. It could be either a resistance band or a dumbbell. The advantage of a resistance band is that you can carry this around so that you don't have to miss a workout. You can always buy a triplet type of a bands where you can buy a lighter, medium, and heavier, and then slowly progress to the heavier. And once you feel like that becomes easier, then you can invest onto the next, the triplet resistance bands. But let us assume that if you want to use a dumbbell for more challenge, you can use that as well. So I'm going to show you both. So let's assume that, so I've got a heavier resistance band here. So the way I'm going to do this exercise is that I'm going to put my resistance band down like this, and then put 1 foot in the front so that this doesn't move. So you want to make sure that you put your feet in such a way that you don't have any resistance here, but when I pull, then that's when I feel the tension. So I'm going to keep my feet like right here, and then I'm going to put one leg in the back. So imagine your hand is just like a hook. I'm not pulling the resistance band with my hand, but rather I'm pulling it in my upper back, and this hand just serves as a hook. So 1, 2, 3. So instead of doing 1, I'm actually using my back to bring the resistance band. I'm feeling the tension. I'm holding that tension there, and then come back. Okay, ready, steady. So 1 to 2 seconds up, and then slowly 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 seconds up, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I would do and start with like 10 to 12 repetitions, and slowly build up to like 15, 20 repetitions. And once this becomes easier, then you can progress onto the heavier resistance band. But let's say if you want to use a dumbbell, you can find some sort of like a stable surface like this to have to create a support. So I'm going to put my hands onto the table like this, put one leg in the front, one leg in the back. So I'm using kettlebell, but you can use a dumbbell as well. So same thing. So the hands work as a hook, and I'm using my upper body to lift it up and then come back slow. Okay, ready? 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now make sure that you do for both sides. Again, as you comfortable doing for 15 to 20 repetitions, then you can increase your weight to add more challenge. So next exercise is called as a side plank, another great lifelong exercise that helps to build the lateral core stability, to help protect your back, to help improve your balance as well. For this exercise, we're going to lie on your side, okay? So with your elbows bent like this, okay? And then my whole from my head all the way here, that's a straight line right now. So now we're going to lift the torso up like this, and we're going to hold this position from anywhere between like 10 seconds to 1 minute. The goal is to build to 1 minute. So let us say, for example, you're able to hold for like 10 seconds, and then you're like, okay, that's it, I want to relax. then take an adequate break, and then come back again. Keep a timer for 1 minute and do this for 1 minute, even if you have to take multiple breaks to get that 1 minute. And once you're able to do a 1 minute straight like this, then the next step would be to do a crossover plank. So where you're going to put one leg in the front and then one leg in the back, and then we're going to do this. Again, same thing, all in a straight line like this. I'm going to hold this position for 1 minute. Again, as I said, like if you have to take breaks for 10 seconds, take a break, or take a break after 30 seconds for 10 seconds or so, and then do it again until you finish that 1 minute straight. And let's say once this becomes easier, then we're going to do a regular side plank where our two legs are stacked on top of each other, and then we're going to hold that plank. And again, the goal will be to hold it for 1 minute straight. And let's say if that becomes easier, then you can also add a little bit of hip abduction as well. This exercise is targeting the lateral stability, your hip muscles as well, but you can add more challenge to your hip muscles. So you're going to do a regular side plank, and then you're going to keep your one leg lifted up like this as you hold this position for 1 minute straight. Okay, for the side plank, I would recommend doing 3 sets of 1 minute hold. So the next exercise is called as the calf raise, a great exercise to build the lower leg strength and also to improve circulation as well. So for this exercise, you're going to stand on the floor like this. You can either have a table or something like that for balance. And now all you're going to do is that you're going to go up in a period of 1 to 2 seconds, and then slowly you lower yourself in 1, 2, 3. Up, 1, 2, 3. Up, 1, 2, 3. Once you're able to comfortably do for 10 to 12 repetitions, you can progress on to like 15 to 20 repetitions. And once that becomes easier, then you can do on a stair and use wall for support or some structure for support. Again, same thing, all the way up and then come back slow. 1, 2, 3. So now you have an enhanced stretch, and then go up. Again, 1, 2, 3. Up, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So once that becomes easier, then you can do a single leg calf raise. So 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. If that becomes easier, then you can always add a resistance while you do the calf raise. So you can either do a double leg calf raise with the resistance, or you can do a single leg calf raise with the resistance as well. Okay, again, a great lifelong exercise, and I would recommend starting with 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions and keep progressing from that standpoint onwards. So there you have it, 6 fundamental exercises to build and maintain strength for life. I recommend doing this routine 3 times per week on non-consecutive days. So think of this as your lifelong prescription to stay strong, mobile, and independent, and also hopefully to keep away from doctors like me. Remember, consistency and proper form is the key. Make sure to always listen to your body. I hope this video was helpful. If you want to add 1 to 2 days of balanced training routine as well, then check out this video here. If you want to know more about exercise prescription in general, then check out this video here. If you have any questions or comments, please post in the comment box below, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.